Mr. T, are you there? I'm launching. I know. I just need your voice. It's muted. Oh God. Yeah. 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 Good morning. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Africa. You're welcome to the Vintage Talkshow with Faj and friends. Good morning, wherever you are listening to us. You are welcome. Or watching us. Is it YouTube or Facebook or any other book? You're welcome. There's going to be an interesting day, interesting episode today. Come with me. That is going to. I'm your uncle. My name is Femi Akintunde-Johnson. My friends call me Faj. I have with me here dark and lovely, the unflappable Esife Arogundade. Good morning, Esife.
Good morning to everybody. Welcome to another great and lovely show. Welcome to our co-presenters, Mr. Faj and Omolara.
Esife, stop it. I'm not your co-presenter. Esife. Okay. Oh my. Oh my. Okay. Also, allow me to be doing the people, introducing the people. Now that you already introduce everybody. Oh, Esife. And also, good morning with us, our co-presenter, Omolara Famuyiwa. Good morning, Omolara.
Good morning, Mr. Fudge. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another interesting show this morning.
It's nice to hear Omolara. Our voice have been off the mic for some time, for one reason or the other. If it's not exam, it is family emergency that I have to take care of. But we thank God she's back. Welcome.
Thank you.
As usual on the Vintage Talk Show today, we'll be having, I hope, my colleagues, when they come in, we'll introduce and we'll start the episode in earnest. But we have, as usual, entertainment news for you, um, headline reviews, and our major talking points, which is the Niger trends, trending stories within the Nigerian space. Now, remember, as usual, we continue to speak truth to power and shine light on dark spots. Let's start with something that looks like a command or a halt. It says Kai Olamide featuring Whiskey. Let's hear them. I'm saying a lot of rubbish that are blocking. Hmm. Just a candid advice to uh, flaming artist. When you have song, so many bleeps and all that, blocking words, profanities, or supposedly, why don't you create a broadcast version, like a radio version, that can be played flawlessly, so they don't start blocking off your songs? Anyway, that's Kai for you by Olamide featuring Whiskey. And we move on. Well, we'll start with the quotes. Our quotes for the week. And by the way, we have a surprise guest in the house. It's nice to have you this morning. If you can hear me, Alex Ogundadegbe, an analyst and co-anchor. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ladies, and good morning, Lagos. It's great to be back.
It is
Good
great.
morning.
We hope you stay back long enough for us to finish this program together. Okay, you're welcome. Oh, yes, I was on about the quotes for the week. And here it goes. When there is no enemy within, the enemies outside cannot harm you. Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah, my people also have the similar saying. Ekule okpani, tode ole pani. So kind of sort of. When there is no enemy within, the enemies outside cannot harm you. So it presupposes that when there is peace, inner peace, it strengthens your capacity to be resilient and to fight back. So let's build. Why you have your enemy in any case? Please look. make, make sure you don't try and not have any enemy. Sometimes you can't avoid them, but do your best. As the word say, live peaceable with all men. Just try and be peaceful. Maybe it will work. Sometimes you can't help it. Anyway, I'm sure Alex is an expert in that because every time I read his Facebook, he's always looking for trouble. He's always looking for trouble, fighting, fighting on one principle or one issue or the other. Ah,
Well,
Alex,
I'm trying to change. This year, I have reduced. I've reduced my
yeah,
agitation and my
yeah.
activism.
Oh, Alex, when I read like this, I shake my head and say, Alex, you like one, Asha. Okay, so good. He's back. Co-anchor, brother, he's back. I think you can hear me. You're welcome to this morning episode. Tokunbo Ojekunle. Good morning, folks. Oh, it's still a work in progress. We'll come back to talk when he's able to get his microphone going. Okay. Hello, Mr. T. Voice problem? It's gone off.
Oh dear. Must be the network.
It's the network. Okay, we are back. While Mr. T is having a running argument with the network providers, we'll move on with fact checking. What do you call our knowledge booster? Have you heard or you have read somewhere when they say, do you know that the world's shortest war lasted 38 minutes between Britain and Zanzibar? It happened 38 minutes. And supposed to be a war. They have not even cranked the rifles. It's gone. Oh my. But the fact checker says it is true. It is true. The shortest war in history lasted 38 minutes. It was between Britain and Zanzibar and is known as the Anglo-Zanzibar War. This war occurred on the 27th of August, 1896. It was over the ascension of the next Sultan in Zanzibar, and it resulted in a British victory, of course. They're using bayonet and all that. What will you expect? Go and try Zanzibar now. You see where, we all can get money to buy
superior weaponry and everything.
Yes, it's an of course war. Okay. Mr. T is still not here. Well, we thank God for you guys here. Omolara and Isife, get ready. Are you back with us now? It's been tough.
Well, yeah, it's been tough. I'm sorry about this, but it's cool. I think I'm okay.
It's not your fault. I'm going to lock you now. I'm going to introduce you now.
Okay.
At last, David has won the battle. Goliath has fallen. And he has joined us. Good morning, folks.
Good morning.
My co-anchor, Tokunbo Ojekunle, is eventually here with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Pat. You can only try, right? It will happen. Good morning, Lagos. They know it's not possible. Like cooling you down is difficult as well. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Good morning.
Okay. Good morning. You can also join us as we move ahead. The number to call is 0913 697 3485. The number to call on air your views is 0913 697 3485. Now we are set. Omolara is here. Isife is here. Who will start? Okay. Even I say who will start, Omolara is not getting the message. So we'll start with you. Isife.
Dele Momodu celebrated at 65.
Oh, yeah.
Lagos sparkled over the weekend as media mogul Dele Momodu marked his 65th birthday in grand style. Held on Victoria Island, the event drew high-profile guests, tycoons, governors, royalty, and diplomats. Dressed in sleek black traditional attire, Momodu arrived with his elegant wife, Bolaji, and their son. A crowd favorite, when Osun Governor Ademola Adeleke, also celebrating 65, joined him on the dance floor. The two friends danced up a storm, drawing cheers. To crown the day, Momodu launched the Dele Momodu Leadership Center.
Bobdo. That's what I call it. A lot of people call it Bobdo. Bobdo. It was 65, but I think on the 16th, right? Yeah, it was 65 on the 16th. And I wrote a piece that was published yesterday. I think I just like to read chapter. In case it's listening, you can question me later. In one paragraph, permit me a moment of nostalgia. I still recall with clarity our early camaraderie. Two wordsmiths lured by lofty dreams and late night ideas, often foiled by nothing more than bread from Wonderloaf and the warm company of kindred spirits. Daily, always the dreamer and doer, seems to operate with an internal generator that never ran out of fuel, a burst of energy, ideas, and ambition. He wore his passions like his signature Ankara jumpers, boldly, proudly, and without apology. I say a belated happy birthday to my friend and our friend, Omobamidele Ojukelegan Abayomi Ajani Momodu. Congratulations.
Yeah. Happy congratulations to Bob D. Yeah. Happy congratulations. Raj, I remember my very first interview with him live on radio. He was then with was it Classic Magazine?
Okay.
Was it Classic? Yeah, I think it was Classic Magazine with me.
Yeah, he was editor. He was editor of
Classic Magazine. Yeah, and that was the first time I met him. And he was so impressionable. You know, I just said to myself, and honestly, not knowing him, I said, this guy is going to be a president someday. Because under an hour, he was telling me the configuration of Nigeria. I was just amazed. I was amazed. So nice to
retrospect now. A young man, ambition, and the capacity to exploit. Like he always says, access is everything, and networking, and it's done great. So congratulations. Yeah. Again.
Osman escaped convoy attack in Osun. There was chaos in Ikire, Osun State, on Sunday, 18th May, as thugs attacked the convoy of foodie star Pasuma. Stones were hurled, gunshots rang out, and damage was done to vehicles, including his Oma Jeep and Hilux truck. Eyewitnesses say no casualties were confirmed. A viral video captures the panic with a voice in pidgin crying, "Kasala don burst." They carry gun shoot us, but God day. Pasuma was in town for a show.
What is going on? Why is Kasala busting anywhere near entertainment? What are they doing? Why are they shooting at each other? Hauling stones and all that. What's going on? Let me find a way of getting Pasuma on the show. Let's find out from him. What's going on? Why is it Kasala all over the place? You know?
No, Kasala. No, fact. Kasala sits on its own. It's being propelled by the people that surround him. Jeje Kasala Sito.
Okay.
So I think they should get their acts together.
They should. I mean, you need better security and intelligence gathering. Know where Kasala is going to happen and avoid the places, such places like a plague. Okay. I think Osifowora should just go ahead. I like the next story.
Femi, my lover, recalls near execution, 1996. Nollywood's Yemi Ayebo, aka Yemi, my lover, claims he was nearly executed by soldiers in 1996 on orders from a Major Adeoye. Arrested on false charges, he was beaten and nearly shot. Unit another officer questioned the order. Though scared, he was jailed with 5 staff and lost over 500,000 naira trying to clear his name. Since then, things haven't been the same. He said, calling for help to revive his career.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know that he ever was jailed. 5 years.
5 years. Such.
I didn't know. I just knew he was off the scene. I thought he had quietly changed his career. You know, this lady, Buki, right now, she's into another career entirely. retrained in the US and doing something to do with financial sector or something like that. You know?
Wow.
Well, we pray that Yemi, my lover, will see help where it will affect his life tremendously. How do you call for someone's education? Uh, uh,
To him, it will
okay,
look like a drama scene.
drama thing.
Yeah,
Let's go
it's
to
really bad. Really bad.
message.
Mercy Johnson shares cancer scare journey. Actress Mercy Johnson Okogie has opened up about a past thyroid cancer scare in a heartfelt video with Joke Silva. She revealed she had surgery shortly after having her youngest child, describing it as a tough period. Doctors told her she had need lifelong medication. We had to accept the new reality and adapt, she said. Her candidate has struck a chord with many fans.
Well, congratulations. Even the scare alone,
Yeah.
Scary.
even the possibility of this of symptoms or possibility of it occurring
Mm.
can make
Mhm.
you can give you a mental breakdown.
Ah,
And a lot of people were body shaming her because she's slim down. I don't know people's problem. Someone is big, you complain that it's too fat. Someone is slimming down, you have complained that it's too slim. People have problems though.
I
You
saw
know,
her pictures on social media. You know,
mhm.
Yeah,
people are actually putting a before and after.
pictures. If you imagine, people are
I knew
having
she couldn't have done that by herself. I just knew
yeah.
something was wrong. She couldn't have done. I don't know. There's a lot lost these days. No empathy, no deep thinking,
No
no
empathy. That's
no
good. No
intuitive
empathy. They
sentences.
treat them like
Nothing.
plastics.
People,
You
you
know.
just write exactly fact.
So,
So, oh, it's terrible. It's terrible.
well, to Mercy, we wish you a full
Mhm.
life and
Yeah.
wholesome, wholesome work, wholesome career, and all that. Please find a way of shutting off all this social media noise. It won't kill you if you don't read any of these things for 5 hours. I mean, 5 years and all that. Nothing will happen to you. It's not as if your belly will not fill up and all that. You know. Okay. Final story. Final story. I think is the Amala's audio is cracky or something. So maybe mute it until you're about to talk. Good. Uh, so final story from Fair will be the house. Is it Mr. T's line that is cracking?
I no, I don't. You noticing something from my end? Can you hear it?
Something.
Okay, okay.
Fair,
Let
can
me
you?
just.
Sorry,
I'll work on that.
Omolara, can you mute? Let's see if Omolara mutes. Okay, let's see. I think it's Mr. T. Omolara is muted and it's still coming on. Okay, Fair, go ahead.
22 Hausa films suspended in Kano. The Kano State Censorship Board has suspended 22 Hausa film series, including Labarina and Daddy Kowa, for bypassing mandatory approval. Executive Secretary Abai El Mustafa said the titles violate the state's regulations. Broadcasters and streaming platforms have been urged to stop airing unapproved content. The move has sparked discussions on creative freedom versus regulation.
Well, we do not have even a synopsis or some kind of characterization of the problem or the materials being complained about. You can't make an intelligent intervention. But usually, censoring arts is not really a good thing. But they must have a good reason, you know. They refer to extant regulation, not some shady characterization or some kind of religious uh, smear or something like that. Okay, so we just advise artists to be careful with the environment. Remember the hocus pocus caused by uh, gangs of Lagos some time ago. The misuse of your masquerade regalia and all that. Okay, so Omolara, are you there? Are you there? Are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's start with your small doctor.
Small doctor takes stand against substance abuse. Small doctor, real name Akintunde-Johnson, is raising alarm over rising drug abuse among Nigerian youths. In a post on X.com, he shared a call with Lagos Youth Commissioner Abdulrazak Akoni discussing ways to tackle the menace. He also called on the public for ideas to drive awareness. He hopes a lasting solution emerge soon.
Well, they're thinking like a doctor. It's a small one. And indeed, it's a worrisome thing. The drug abuse matter. I've written quite a number of times. Drug abuse and gambling is a very serious issue amongst Nigerian youth. Governments all over the place, they have to do more. The tragedy on our streets in our neighborhood, terrible things going on. Watch some videos.
In fact, it's very
people racked and knocked off by drugs. They be beating nonsense out of them, and they don't feel anything.
They don't.
They don't. You see, these days, you find them on every major street corner in Lagos. They're everywhere. It's scary, you know.
It is.
It is. It is indeed very bad.
It is. There's some red flag areas. You can't just walk from about 4 in the evening. 4. You cannot walk there because they're everywhere looking like, wild hounds, dogs and all that. When you see them, you will know. They have tattoos all over. They have dreadlocks and all. And that's why they give people with dreadlocks bad representations. Because these guys have actually robbed so many things. It's an emergency, it's an emergency, and they have to look into it fast.
It is. So the alarm is by a small doctor. It's indeed a very patriotic call for our government and civil society and services to wake up, do something more tangible. And then it all boils down to economic situation and all that. It's a tough world we are in now. If you don't have the stamina and the so-called Nigerian resilience, you fall into bad ways, and then you end up the bad corners, trucked up and all that. It's a vicious circle. Okay, let's move on to Don Jazzy.
Don Jazzy, I don't want free gifts. Marvin Records boss Don Jazzy has warned fans against giving him free gifts. He narrated how a food vendor gave him nkwobi and later requested that Rema perform at a party. In his words, I didn't ask for the food. Now you want Rema in return. Don't give me free gift, please.
I saw the video. What did you give me free gift again? How do you compare what you gave me to come out here and come and perform? Sorry, your charge at your party. So beware of free gifts. All of you that you like a move, that way back, that will choke you.
You know what they say. I put the wrong belly. Interestingly, this free gift thing came out yesterday. We're discussing the gift given by he ran to Oga at White House. And somebody said, I'm suspecting this gift too. Something has to come, come after it too. And it just brought me back, so took me back to school. In those days, we were told when somebody offers gift and gives you the first day, second day, you keep bringing it home. My mom will follow me back to school. Oh yeah, who is this person who has been giving you books? Yeah. And I grew up with that. And I grew up with that, really and truly. But nothing, I'm doing nothing, not my birthday. Just drive up and say, this is for you. And I look at it suspiciously. There's nothing really bad about it. So sometimes you need to query this thing a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Okay, Omolara, you are Mohbad's sister.
Mohbad's sister speak out. Karimot, elder sister of the late singer Mohbad, has spoken out, distancing herself from his death. In a teary live video, she said neither she nor her husband were involved. I'm not the nurse. I wasn't there, she insisted, urging Nigerians to let Mohbad rest in peace.
We have been urging this for like years. Why are they always looking for culprits, suspects, and all that? After how many years? I thought I've done, what's it called? Autopsy and all that. And who is accusing the sister now? From where to where now?
There's so many, they keep expanding the scope of the stories, especially on the social media. You see all kinds of conspiracies and all kinds of things coming up. There was a time they were talking about his father and some other things, accusing his wife of infidelity, his sister. And you wonder, when will this stop? I mean, they need closure on this. It's sad then, but they need closure.
Everybody, in fact, every Nigerian needs closure concerning this young man's death. It's as if they are celebrating, carrying the thing up and down. I don't know. Okay, let's look at the last story. Okonlawon brings out his chest.
Okonlawon slams FCC over crackdown on celebrities. Nollywood actor Deyemi Okonlawon has criticized the EFCC's crackdown on celebrities for naira abuse, describing it as a misplaced priority. Speaking on Nollywood on radio, he questioned why entertainers like Bob Risky, Iyabo Ojo, and Cubana Chief Priest are being targeted, while more pressing issues of corruption go unaddressed. While acknowledging the importance of national pride and respect for the naira, Okonlawon stressed that true public trust will only come when the EFCC consistently tackles high-profile corruption. He added that with such trust, citizens would be more inclined to follow lesser rules, including those on currency handling.
Thank you. We don't know the problem or technical problem. Omolara, mute your microphone. The system is the cause. Yes, Mr. Okonlawon, thank you. Thank you for your patriotic zeal in warning the EFCC. Well, is it by force people must spend money through money at parties? Is it by force you must show up that you have money? Give money in a careful way. Why are you complaining about they are hounding you? Why are you making yourself houndable? In such a way that people will chase after you and all. Everything about moderation. Life is about moderation. Good life living is about moderation.
You know how government organizations like to act to show that they're working. There are some things you call low-hanging fruits that are easy to tackle and that give you a good appeal in the public eye. So I think that's what they're doing. They want to appear to be working, although they're doing the right thing. And you don't ignore things like that, even though there are bigger things to do.
Yeah, you don't. And we can complain about the quality of their fight against corruption and all that. But it's not as if they put their legs on the table and just looking for when will Bobrisky come to, when will the Okalawa come and spray, when will this and that. Anyway, thank you, gents, ladies. Well, impressed. Everybody's a gentleman. Yeah? So don't mind a gentleman. Okay, thank you, Molara, family, and Ogundadegbe. Thank you. We take a short break and come back. And it's good to welcome Akintunde-Johnson Adeboye this morning. Good morning, Akin.
Good morning, Uncle Faj. Good morning, everybody. Alex, good morning. Mr. T, Omolara.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
The way you started your intro, it was as if you are angry with what's it called, the small doctor, because your voice sounded very small and all that. But we come back to you. Let's take a short break. It says Bonabo is update. What is the update all about? To the reality.
Fudge. Let me check my frame, please.
Okay.
There's something wrong with my system since yesterday. I noticed. I don't know what's wrong. It's not sitting well. I don't know. Is it okay at your end in the studio?
Just move to slightly to your right.
This right. That's your left. You mean?
My left. Yes. You're right.
Let me assure. I should move to
No.
left.
Raise your right. Let me see. Raise your right.
Yeah.
Move towards it a bit.
Towards this place a bit. Sorry.
Wow. No, you're going out of screen. You're moving the opposite way.
What's it like here now?
Okay.
Yeah, it's better.
It looks better now.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, okay. The tripod fell off yesterday when I was doing some rehearsal, so I know something went off. But it's okay. Thank you. Yeah. Right. This drug thing is really crazy. It's so sad. You know, you remember the 90s or something, where we had a burst of it on campus in Unilag. And it came with a lot of posts for cultism. And I remember that was what brought Showore to the limelight. He fought against it on campus as a student union leader. And it was really bad then. We had, was it Bamaye we had, who was in charge of a task force then? And we were going from motor park to motor park, campus to campus, bringing people to talk about it. I feel that wave again somehow. It's everywhere.
We have to create that passion again.
Yes.
And if we're fighting, it has to be holistic. We can't just say law enforcement alone. You know, everyone has to be involved.
Yeah, Alex, and let's remember, you can't fight what you don't understand. It's closer home than most of us think. As in, it's closer home. Just imagine the next teenager, the next youth to you. It's as close as that. As in anybody, forget about church going on. Anybody, just imagine. It's closer home than you realize. It's closer home than you realize.
And that's scary. Scary.
Yeah,
very scary.
And, you know, they have a very, very, very unique and massive distribution system.
Network.
Very unique.
They do.
They do. As in very sophisticated distribution system.
You can say coded, highly coded.
If you see the people who are actually taking these things, like you said,
if you ask the next 2-3 teenagers, they'll point someone that you can get it from.
Yeah, and
I mean,
people justify the use. I've seen people justify the use in public, and I was amazed. You know,
wow.
I was in Marua doing runs around Obalinde, CMS area, and the guy had these pictures of Naira Marley on his screen. He was arguing about Indian and saying he's good. So one of the pastors asked him that, does your mother know you smoke?
Okay, gentlemen, we are going back on air.
Wow.
We are going back on air.
But that's another topic, please, for another day.
Yeah. We are back, and this is still the Vintage Talk Show with the Verge and friends. And I have them in the house. Mr. T is here, Alex Ogundadegbe is here, and Akintunde-Johnson has joined us. Hopefully, we'll get to hear Bosun soon. Hopefully. This is the headline reviews of major newspapers. Start with the Punch. And that's a sad but interesting story. It says pregnant Ogun women flee to Benin Republic as healthcare crumbles. Wow. That's not a great export. I mean, it's the import. I don't know.
I hope they have statistics for that story.
Yeah.
I hope it's not just based on a one-off situation.
Okay.
Well, you are correct in a sense if you are talking about the statistics. But coming from someone that works in that kind of environment, I will tell you that if you are coming from Lagos and you just pop into, especially the border communities, you will be shocked at the degradation that has happened to every other infrastructure that you took for granted in Lagos. Every other thing. I mean, I keep on saying it. I don't know. I refuse to say this on air now, but the governance in Ogun State is it's way down there, way down there. I mean, the next thing you do is when you get a headache or a fever in Lagos, you go to the health center. In Ogun, you probably be wasting your time if you do that. Probably wasting your time. Yeah, because the degradation is massive, and for the border communities, not even the urban town, it's something else. So they will need to go to the next. And Benin, Benin, they are talking about it. It's just like Nigeria, as in I'm talking about the demography and everything. So it's just a familiar place to them. They just stroll in and enjoy the health care there. And
Akin is right. It happened mostly with people on the borderline between Benin and Ogun State. It says in 2020, over 80,000 Nigerian women died from pregnancy-related complications from the same story. And it says Nigeria's maternal mortality rate stood at 1,047 deaths per 100,000 live births in 2010. That's the third highest in Africa, and far above the UN target of 70 deaths per 100,000. Our own is like times how many times now? More than 20 or 30 times. 1,047 deaths per 100,000 people. So it's a serious problem. It's a serious calamity.
There's no doubt we have a healthcare emergency on our hands. I was listening to Professor Lumumba. You may know him. He's a professor of law in Kenya. And he was saying in 1970, the king of Saudi Arabia came to Lagos for healthcare treatment. In 1970, he actually gave the date, the time, and everything in an address he was. He said, but now Nigerians actually go to the Arab Emirates. Dubai now, one of its major income earners is medical tourism, you know. So speaking generally, not just at the grassroots where you have primary health care, generally we have a healthcare emergency in Nigeria.
You do,
Yeah, well,
and I'm believing that they know. Just there's something Akin talked about the other time. I want to talk about it quickly. Is the fact that when you get to the borderlines, okay, I stay in the borderline. Of course, those who know where I stay, Lagos and Ogun. I observe that if you make a travel from inside Ogun State itself and begin capture the social structures there, they are not too bad. Yeah. Well, as you move to the borderline, they ease out, and they give me the feeling that those in those areas are not important. Honestly, well, even from the deplorable state of roads to the aesthetics around where I stay, you will know you are into it's so poor, it's so down. And I'm worried because honestly, these are the places where constituency projects should be felt. They should be felt in those areas. Now, wait, election will come soon. They will see them mobilizing from the borderlines.
You know, they already have an idea of who will be next governor in Ogun. And he's already trying to make his presence felt. Currently, you know, I live in Ota. Ota is where my house is. And so I'm familiar with a lot of the things you're saying. Now, Yayi, they call him Yayi. He's a senator in Ogun.
Senator Adiola. Senator Adiola.
So he's already preparing. People, sorry to say this on air, but people have already given up on the current governor in Ogun State. This is his second term.
Yeah.
They've not seen anything.
This is second term. Anything.
And it's
I can boldly say it that most of the things when you go into Ogun State, most of the things are on ground are from the time of Senator Ojekunle Amosun. Most the infrastructures, everything, most. And it speaks to the kind of people we have at the end of affairs in Ogun State. Because like I was saying, like we were discussing in the policy class yesterday, the truth of the matter is that they have so much money to spend now, but we are not seeing the results for it. So much to spend now. Because they keep on they will keep on talking about the president. It's high time we start talking about the governor, talking about the local government chairman. They have so much money to spend.
Sorry, let me just cut in. Apart from allocations from the federal government, do you know next to Lagos, Ogun State is the highest revenue earner in this part of the country? Next to Lagos. Can you imagine the number of industry layouts you have in Ogun State? What are they doing with the money, for heaven's sake? That's the question that comes to mind.
Okay.
It's because
okay, Radio Warriors. Let's move on to something else. I need to play some music to calm you guys down because I think
we're calm.
The principle of the state. Okay, this will calm you guys. Shaolin by She Vibes. We'll come back and see off the super reviews.
Yeah.
Uncle Paji, if you want to calm us down, you can ask for our account details. Don't worry. We'll be sure.
That's what the prince is that.
Then it will be coming down. Not calm. Calming. Calm down.
Coming
down. I will coming down.
Be calming down.
You
Like the youth today. They say you be calming down.
Like we will say it on the streets. Just let me drop my account number. Sir.
Yeah, but it's sad. Honestly, it's sad.
No, it is sad. It is sad. You know, one thing I realized, everything we've said now, they've heard, they've listened. And you know, the funny thing about when you try to correct people in government, you become their enemies.
Yeah.
They suddenly have this kind of wave of metamorphosis. The whole brain just turns into an attack.
They are living in the fantasy world. They are living in a fantasy world, and it's because we are not holding them
very sure
enough. We are not holding them accountable enough. You know, the population demography now is with the youth, with the teenagers. Most of these people, they are not too well informed. They are just on social media for the sake of it. If not, they should take up these people. They should, as in with information, they should take up these people, and immediately they will sit up. But we have a culture of impunity where anything you do, it's because the next person is not in government. He's also waiting for his own turn to get into the place and do whatever.
What's the difference? What's the line of difference between being docile and being understanding? Yeah, when you say, yeah, I understand what they are doing and all that, does it tally with docility? You know, sometimes you ask yourself these questions, and I'm very serious about it. It worries me a lot. I don't know if you read in the paper yesterday or day before yesterday that a school somewhere, I think in the Midwest area, has a brother within the school premises.
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw it. I saw it, and I was what? A brother within the school walls.
In fact, the head of that school should be sacked. That's the first thing.
Immediately.
It means he's not doing his job. How can that exist and he won't know about it?
These things look very small, but they're very large. By the time you look at the impact they have on society, very large. Very, very large. That saddens me, honestly.
And I have my
okay, gentlemen, I'm going back on air. Enough of the national conference. Okay, we are back, and this is still the Vintage Talkshow. And my guys are still here. We are talking Nigeria. You need to be at the back end. You think you are at the 2024, is it 2014 national conference? The one that Jonathan spectacularly, you know, I can't forgive Jonathan. Yeah, I mean, it was so there's many interesting. Anyway, don't let us go back. Don't let me start another argument. We are going on to Niger trends, trending stories within the Nigerian space. And here you can join us to make your comments known. Because I noticed that what we have on the headlines are mostly what we are going to treat in the Niger trends. You know, so we are ahead of our newspapers. Interestingly, we are covering virtually the same thing this morning. So we'll get to that and we can talk extensively while we are treating the Niger trends. Remember, you can join us. The number to call is 0913 697 3485. I repeat, 0913 697 3485. We would like to hear your point. Now, our first story read thus. Whose phone is cracking like that? I suspect that you. Are you using earpiece? Okay, as if you heard my reprimand, he has stopped. Okay, we start with the brickbats about the UTME results. That's the jam problem. Jam, some of us parents and all that. The UTME results error not technical. That's members of House of Reps. The House of Representatives says the recent problem with the 2025 UTME results were caused by human error, not a technical fault, as earlier suggested by JAM. Over 300,000 candidates were affected, with most scoring below 200 out of 400. Committee Chairman Oboku Ofoji said JAM's negligence led to the avoidable error, though he commended the registrar, Professor Ishak Oloyede, for taking responsibility. The committee is now calling for an independent investigation and reforms within JAM to prevent future lapses. Before we delve into that, let's hear the Oloyede's response. The Oloyede denies targeting Southeast candidates. JAM registrar Professor Ishak Oloyede has denied claims that the 2025 UTME technical glitch was a plot to sabotage candidates from the Southeast and Lagos. He insists every candidate is treated equally. His comments follow strong backlash from Southeast lawmakers who described the examination as a national shame and demanded Oloyede's resignation. The House caucus is also calling for a total cancellation and rescheduling of the exam, as well as suspension of JAM's top digital operations personnel. My people, there you are.
You know, my views on JAM are very radical, and sometimes when I make them known, people look at me strangely. What comes to my mind first is, what role is JAM really playing in university admission? During our days, JAM will give you a letter when you meet the cut, and when you take it to the institution, you are admitted. There's no question about it. Yeah. But today, individual institutions are doing their own examination. So after you pass JAM, you now have to sit at the institution and do another exam. Now, JAM fits cutoff in many cases below 200. I've seen them fix at 180 and all that. And at the end of the day, they can't guarantee the admission of our children and our wards. So you tend to ask, what role is JAM really playing currently in university admission? That is one part. The other part is what happened, of course. It wouldn't be honest to say that one part of the country was targeted when this incident occurred, because it wasn't the Southeast alone that it affected. It affected parts of Lagos too, you know, and whoever has a grudge against the South, if you do have a grudge against the South, you're not likely to include Lagos in the midst of things. I actually got myself into a debate on Facebook over this thing, and before I knew it, I was surrounded by Ishak Oloyede's loyalists, and you know, there are a lot of people. You know, he was formerly a vice chancellor at the University of Ilorin, so he has a goodwill out there.
That's why I was wondering when you said you have changed. I was wondering when you said that.
You know, so I just made them understand. This man needs to answer for this. When he did his press conference initially and tried to explain what went wrong, if you follow that conference, he didn't tell us what went wrong. He didn't go into the details. He just
Alex, there was actually a press statement that was handed out at that conference. There was actually a statement that was handed out
because what I watched was
yes, he did
his broadcast.
Yes, he didn't. He just owned up. He just owned up to the glitch that happened.
He took responsibility.
Yeah. but that was a comprehensive press statement that detailed what actually happened. There was. And for me, I think this is more of a long-term targeted strategy, because you were raising a question the other time. What happened that when you even score high in JAM, you need to go and sit down again for another examination in the schools? And the way it was happening then was that even people that didn't know anything, we are getting 280, 300 because of the corruption of the system. And the more digitalized a system is nowadays, the more sophisticated it is digitally, the more difficult it becomes for you to corrupt the system, especially as an individual. Yeah. So now JAM is getting extremely digitalized. WAEC is looking at JAM and they are looking at, okay, what can we do to get to this level? And I think, my own opinion, someone somewhere, they do not want that to happen. Because even the glitch, I'm very serious. We are Nigerians, and we can be so devious when push come to shove. You will be surprised, because this is a massive industry. That the corruption that is involved, it's a massive industry, and they are shutting it down. Now, the truth of the matter is that people were shouting about CBT, blah 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 blah. People are not reading again. We are seeing them on the streets day in, day out.
Very true. You know, may I just Bosun? Akintunde, you still on? Yeah, please. Now you see, thank you. Alex started from a very interesting point. Years ago, many years ago, it was common entrance that you had to write for individual universities. You didn't have to go, there was no JAM. I recall that at a point in time, I wrote entrance examination to Unife, University of Ife. Yeah. And all of a sudden, somebody I woke up and said, no, they should do this unified system. It's fine. It's fine. Many of those people who were against it then, if they were alive today, they will look up and say, look, we have been vindicated, because many of them said that very soon this JAM will fall to pieces. You know, because they were still even finding it difficult to coordinate individual entrance examinations in individual structured schools or universities. How much more put everything together under one major umbrella? And that's what we have. With the inclusion of the digital space and all that, it's now, look, I'll tell you this. I passed 5,000 naira from my phone, from my system, okay, to somebody else's account. I got the number, everything was a perfecto, right? Do you know that up until now, that was about, the guy who's the laundryman is yet to receive the money. Will you call that glitching? Or somewhere along the line, somebody, it has been intercepted. Now imagine we're now using that system to determine the fate and destiny of our younger ones.
Yeah.
Who are going to be tested to become doctors, nurses, professors, engineers, architects in future. Something is basically wrong. I like the way the head came up and took responsibility, because that's a very rare thing now. Nobody takes responsibility for anything. People just go on as if life is normal. Pending queries are still waiting.
Yes,
that's it.
Kind of.
They need to do something about it. JAM is it an eyesore now, or is there's some diminishing return now coming around about it? Because honestly, the figures are funny. The figures are very funny. You don't need to be extremely brilliant to go into university now. Just get the scores right. Once you get the scores right, you are in.
Yeah. If you ask
And does
me,
it test your IQ?
They should. If this may sound extreme, but left to me, they should cancel JAM. I don't see the role except raising money. It's raising a lot of money for the FG, billions every year. But apart from that, I really don't see the role that JAM is playing in this situation.
Alex, that's my opinion about 12 years ago. I'm tired of saying it because they are not tired of keeping him a behemoth that trundles and messes up our children's future and all that. How do you expect children to go and to wake up at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock to go to an exam hall that you botched the first time? At 6:30 or 7 o'clock, they should be there. And one is in Aja, the exam is in Ikorodu. Crazy things. I think the machine is the one that is thinking for them and appropriating. I don't want to even talk about JAM. Let's just move on. I need to reintroduce. We are Niger Trends, and our lady of songs, lady of voice, just strolled in. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tamilora, good morning. You are welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for considering to join us
eventually.
Okay, let's move on to Emefiele's houses.
Okay. Federal government to sell 753 houses recovered from Emefiele. The federal government will soon put up for sale 753 units housing estate recovered from former CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele. The EFCC handed over the estates to the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, which says it plans to inspect all buildings before offering them to the public and for official use. Minister Ahmed Dangiwa praised the anti-graft agency's efforts, promising a transparent process through the Renewed Hope portal. EFCC Chair Olanipekun Olukayede stressed the importance of using recovered assets to benefit Nigerians.
Wow.
That's Olukayede, right?
753 houses.
It's not Koyede.
Koyede, yeah. Olukoyede. Yeah.
I apologize, Mr. Koyede.
He's used to it. 753.
It's an estate, apparently.
Of course it is.
Can I start? Can I say something? Look, I'm sorry. I personally, I do not believe one man can do that.
Anyway, let me
do
shock
not
your
don't shock me.
Mr. T, please, clarification. What is the that? Let us hear.
Excuse me, wait. Where one person is caught in the midst of 1 million people.
Okay.
That one person, is a thief.
He's a thief. He's a thief.
He's a thief because he was caught in the act.
Yeah.
My submission is, look, no matter how, I'm not Akintunde now. I'm alone, 700 and something. No.
Sir,
maybe he's not talking, maybe he's talking, maybe he's spoken, maybe not.
No, are you taking into cognizance the exchange rate?
The exchange rate.
Yeah.
No, you have a point too.
Gentlemen,
$15-20 million.
Gentlemen, just put into your perspective the fact that Emefiele went to court to stop government from forfeiting or from collecting the houses. He went to court to beat the foreclosure or the forfeiture. So that class the fact that it's not as if there's a ghost behind it. The man said, "No, you can't take my houses." Even the president said, only one person in the local area that is around him. Even the president was in shock.
I want to ask a silly question. I know that unlimited amount of money or whatever. But is it possible that he owns it? Is it possible that it's rightfully his own?
My dear, why will you go to court to go and challenge that?
Because they're
and defend and
you see, when you don't have money, you think some things are not possible because you don't know how to steal billions. People who have money, they don't know, they have to put it somewhere because it can kill you.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's his own. Maybe it's like legally his own. It's
legal what?
That's what I mean.
Lay what?
Because CBN governor.
As a personal.
How much do you earn at the CBN governor?
Assets before they enter into. I'm
My
just
dear.
trying to see if it's possible.
Let me try.
750. What?
Let me try and give you insight to how powerful that position is, so that we understand that this is possible. Now, you see, the governor of CBN is like a president in himself. He's a very powerful individual.
No, it's like a state.
Like a state. He's the head of a regulatory body that oversees numerous financial institutions. Someone gave me an insight to what happens sometimes when a CBN governor, I won't tell you which one now because we're live on air, is going for a meeting with bankers. You know, they fly him in on a private jet. When he reaches his presidential suite in the hotel where they're going to meet, there are suitcases of Forex waiting for him. You know, there are also other perks that come with the office. I did a presentation on corruption in the civil service in Nigeria, and I asked AI to structure a table for me on corruption, incidences of corruption, central people involved, how it affected the Nigerian nation. Those were the variables I gave AI. I dare not give you the list that came up. I dare not say it on air. And it's true. It's true. And central on that list was the CBN Forex scandal that happened some years ago. So it's possible. That position, you have access to funds from different
cash cow.
and you can do whatever you can with them. That's the truth.
Wow.
I don't think anybody in power is supposed to have that amount of.
You're still.
No, I'm talking about the houses. But to be honest, that one is small. I think that from the level of things we've been seeing, level of
no. There's a problem here. There's a problem here. Do you notice that when unsolicited funds hit some people's pockets, right? That's when they sleep and wake up and want to buy a private jet.
You know why not? Like you suddenly have
just a minute. Because you know why? Because this is money they have never seen before. I'm beginning to sync with what you have all said. Because initially I was wondering one person, but really and truly, you become more glutinous. You become more glutinous. You become more daring, and you want to do everything at the same time, even buy Dubai if possible.
Yeah,
we have a call on the line. Hello,
okay.
Good morning. Hello, good morning. I can hear you. Oh my God.
We lost our precious.
We lost the line. Please try again. We are saying hello.
To put this in proper perspective, you remember the former GDMD of NNPC.
Okay, gentlemen, our caller is back.
Our caller is back. You remember what he did?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, the caller is back.
Okay, the caller is back.
Yes.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you.
I want to talk about race issue on your podcast. I'm glad you are in the journalism world.
Okay.
And the narrative is sometimes have to challenge.
Okay.
Before the Anglo-Zanzibar war,
okay.
We actually war in 1896. Was it not an invasion? Was Zanzibar ready to fight the superior British? Was that what the did against the Benin Empire?
Yeah, even Lagos.
Fair,
yeah,
fair.
Right. Of course, they are still paying back today.
Yeah.
They are the first to have moved out to take to use and do all sort of things.
Yeah.
Speaking of war, they told us also again that when they try to discover the river Niger,
well, that's fair. That's fair comment. Yeah.
450 Not for that. Yes, number two, on jam. I believe jam to be scrapped. There should be nothing like jam at all.
Yeah.
Because the whole idea of some people having 240, some people having 100, and yes, they get admission into good university, all in the name of catchment area. This is mediocrity. Then, on the issue of the CBN, you're one of the guests there. She said the way it is. The person is referring to the CBN government, everybody knows it. He's the one in the problem right now. So, there's a lot of shame and shame there. He's talking about a new feeling. We heard also that he went to abroad to have the secret birthday. All sorts of things happen. That is not how a CBN government should behave. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tolu Lokpe. Titi Lokpe. Thank you. It's always very straightforward about his comment. In history they will write that Russia invaded Ukraine. Till today they are still fighting. They are calling it war. It's still Russia-Ukrainian war. And the problem is, if the victor writes the history, he's likely going to say whatever he likes. So Zanzibar coughed, and they shut them down. And you say no, it's an invasion. Anyway, it's a corruption of history, and we take that position. And he has a very strong position about Emefiele, taking exception to what Alex is saying. He said, shame and name them, and he named some people. I mean, named somebody, which I'm not going to repeat. And then he spoke about other things. Of course, he supported Alex's position about JAM, that has overstayed his welcome, and it should be scrapped. Based on that, while we expect more callers, let's move on to the protest in Ibadan.
Okay. Just a second. Okay, protest in Ibadan as police stray bullet kills student. Tragedy struck in Ibadan Tuesday as a 14-year-old pupil, Kehinde Alade, was killed by a stray police bullet during a traffic enforcement operation. Eyewitnesses say the bullet was aimed at a tire but hit the boy instead while his father tried to escape arrest for driving against traffic. Angry residents staged a protest demanding justice. Both the Oyo State government and police confirmed the officer responsible is in custody and under investigation. Authorities urge calm as a full probe is underway.
Gentlemen, that was sad.
Even the first statement is
in this country, if you don't know how things run, you will probably think everything the police people have released is true. Yes, I will not say that the man didn't ply a one way, but go to that place, you will now see it is even a wrong foundation to start the story with, because maybe a road was being repaired and stuff like that one, and people in that area started using, and police being who they are, they mounted a roadblock there. Anybody that wants to pass, you have to give us something.
I heard that.
Illegal.
Yeah.
Illegal checkpoint.
Yeah.
No, news. I heard from the news what I want to say. I want to add that some context, that apparently it was based on previous issues on that road. So there was a joint task force, Oyo State Road something department, I've forgotten their full name, and police were had a task force to fix the traffic issues on that road, because apparently there had been consistent traffic violations, and there were even people killed on that road based on all the past issues regarding traffic. That's why they did the task force to do that. But still, the gun. I just want to give that context.
No. The gun was all shades of wrong. I remember we were having a meeting with an ACP of an area command, and was telling us that a policeman was trying to stop his brother and was claiming his brother was on one way. And the young man came down and said, "Sir, this is not one way again. It was on Lagos Abeokuta Expressway." And he said, "See, the other side is being repaired, and there is no way for us to pass again. That is why and the policeman was insisting that it's one way, you have to give me something. He said, no, I will not give you anything because everybody is flying this place you are calling a one-way. And the next thing, the guy now called his brother, who was an ACP, and the police officer there and then started insulting the ACP. He didn't know that he was talking to a policeman on the phone. He now said, okay, take him to wherever you want to take him to. He took him to the police station. The ACP called that division, and they marched that man down from Abule-Egba down to Ikeja. And that was before, they marched him down because he didn't know what was talking to an ACP. And the guy actually did a video. The guy that was alleged to, he actually did a video to show his brother that this is not one way again. So there are always context to this thing. They're not talking about even as at that, the gun. The gun, is he an armed robber? Is he an armed robber?
You know, just a minute. There is something about the gun when you hold it. I don't know if you've had the opportunity of holding the gun before. They teach you that your fingers, maybe 2 or 1, if possible, is locked around the trigger where you pull it. Yeah. Now at that point, there is usually a connection between your brain, your intellectual reasoning capacity, all right, and the control you put that finger on. To me, what happened was it doesn't look like a stray bullet. In that car, at that point in time, the policeman will have seen that there was a toddler. There is a small boy on that car.
Yes. More than one boy. Actually.
More than one in that car. And they are all boys. They are not huge men. Even if they were huge men, you don't allow your senses to go around the other way and your trigger works and your finger pulls it. Because I do not understand that. That's what I don't understand. Oh, yeah, there's just something wrong. I'm looking now at the incident itself. The one way, 2-way, 10 is true. Okay, fine. But would that be enough for me to hold the gun and pull the trigger?
You know,
was it a war scene?
I wrote something about it in my column today. And I'll quote some. But before that, a young man has been trying to get in. He's driving somewhere, but has made efforts to join us. His day of recording is tomorrow, but he's here with us. And noise
tomorrow.
Legal expert. Good morning, if you can hear me.
I can hear, sir.
Okay, I hope this man tomorrow. But anyway, there's nothing to fear again.
I can hear you very well.
The man that is there for okay, please join us. I will invite you to contribute to what you are saying if you're able to drive and speak. Right. Okay. Now, I said something in my article. I said, we must ask, what sort of training emboldens a police officer to shoot at a moving vehicle in a crowded civilian space because of a traffic violation? How have we created an enforcement culture that sees bullets as corrective tools for disobedience? And more damning, how many of these officers are ever truly held accountable? Their issues are trigger-happy police people. We are dealing with human lives. I watched the video. Yes, the driver, the father of the child, was reckless. He was foolish in his demeanor, the way he was driving. He crashed a lot of vehicles trying to escape capture and all that. But is that the punishment for that is to shoot on the road or offending the traffic? But so I don't know whether there is something in law that says you can use such violent force to make traffic correction. I don't know whether the noise of the car is affecting Bosun.
Yeah, I think it is. But
it is.
You know one thing about when you give someone, an hungry man, someone you are not paying well, a gun, I mean, it's a traffic violation. It's not a robbery. It's not a case of stealing.
It's not a robbery. It's not
violation.
war. No.
Yeah.
No,
So when you give him a gun, what do you expect him to do with that gun? Because probably an AK-47.
I'm going to stop you there. That listen, just a minute. Paul, you mean because it's poorly paid? You mean because it's poorly paid? That's the reason why he will do that. No, I think can I just let me just drop this. Let me drop this. Everybody would know that anywhere we go, we will have cases of armed robbery or people pilfering at things and they catch them. They say, I've not eaten since yesterday. I want to. Are we all rich? Are we all rich? Well, it's no excuse. Why would I go to the street and pilfer money and steal money? Do you understand me? What I'm trying to say is that as a policeman, that uniform on you, okay, also gives you the ample time to be responsible enough to know when to release a bullet. There is no chaos. There is no civil war. There is no robbery going on.
Mr. T, I think you've misunderstood Damola. Damola was just giving us to the psychology of a lot of our police in Nigeria.
Okay.
Exactly.
They are not paid well. They're not paid on time sometimes. And because this happens, they use what they have to get what they want. That's why you see illegal roadblocks. That's why you see police, taxing people on the highway. So
on that one, I agree.
Not giving an excuse for
at all. I'm not. No, but they have a target. They have a target. They do
before they get back, they must bring something back from the point.
Yeah.
They must deliver.
Sorry, sir. Can I say something? I don't know if I've been heard.
We have been asking you to say something.
We have been inviting you.
Oh, sorry. Did you see the press release from the police and the Oyo State government? They said that the man was reckless, that's the driver, and that they suspected kidnapping because they saw children in the car. They thought that would be an alibi for the shooting, but that actually made it wrong because you saw children in a car and then you decided to fire live bullets at the same car. I do not understand how that works.
Not on the expressway.
The fact that there are children in the car, whatever your suspicion is, you are not supposed to fire at the car. Then what happens to radioing other areas
other police
and giving particulars of the car?
Yeah.
He can't run forever. He can't run past all police posts.
He has a registered number.
They are just trying to whitewash.
For me, I even think the man was troubled. There was more to the man's recklessness than meets the eye, because there was something obviously wrong. The way he went about it, but that's on his own part. The one that concerns us is the police. And okay, you want to hold someone for going against traffic. Is it by force? If he leaves, will that change the color of the sky? The way these people go about enforcement, something has to be done. Deploy technology rather than live bullets.
They should even go for tests, periodical tests.
I think that maybe there's some intentionality.
I'm being serious. They should go for mental balance tests. It's not that they are mad or something. No,
explain my
everybody needs it.
So let me explain. So the guy is driving. There are some issues. There's obviously friction. There's obviously the guy is moving mad on the road.
He turned back and reversed, hit some cars.
So something is moving. Something is in motion. And your next idea is to shoot something in motion. And are you expecting that you get it right on target the first time you get it?
Even if you get it, what if
Are you Robin Hood? Are you Robin Hood? Who would aim during motion?
But like I told someone, I said the video we watched was probably half of what happened. Something must have transpired. Someone must have stopped the man to say, okay, well, we have and something must have happened. It's not that he saw them and he started driving them. Something must have happened.
Even if he did and is running away, there's no see. It's because you don't care about human lives. You don't care. But how do you know whether you should be tired? You should. I mean, this is not the first time we are having what they call that thing. When they stray bullets. You know, this is a road. This is a road, a traffic area.
Accidental discharge.
They're shooting. I mean, look at the video. The way the shot came, they didn't even show. It was like a random shoot.
Uncle Fudge.
That's it.
You aim.
Uncle Fudge. Uncle Fudge, you know, an incident happened in my area. We have a junction there, and we usually sit down in that junction, and then every other person you come around, and we start making jokes and stuff like that one. And in front of the junction was a police checkpoint. They usually come there and harass drivers and stuff like that one. There was this day that one driver just got angry that I'm not giving you anything, and he was driving away, and the policeman was facing us. And in the guise of wanting to shoot the tire, it was a stray bullet. It came straight at us. That guy just left set just seconds ago. The bullet went through the plastic chair.
Wow.
I mean, that was the last time we allowed them to, because we all rose up. That you would have killed someone today. Wow. Over how much? Maybe over 100 naira.
So, Aki, let me quickly say this. There's a saying in law that it is better to allow 99 criminals to go free than allow one innocent person to be convicted. It is better to allow someone who has committed an infraction to go free than to have an innocent soul killed. Now you have killed a child, you have destroyed a life. The family will not be the same. The twin brother was beside him when he was killed for no reason. Psychologically, I don't know the state of the other boy. Now, so what is the gain? What has the state gained by apprehending the man after killing his son? It doesn't make sense. We need to review our enforcement pattern and look at how things can be done properly. Because this quest to get people at all costs, see how far they went chasing this man. At the end of the day, you got him, you killed his son, and then what is the gain for the state and for the man and for the person who shot at the boy? So we need to review our patterns of doing things. If a man goes free, will it change the budget of the state?
But so the truth of the matter is that the man cannot go free. It's an area. It's not on the express road. It's an area. It cannot go free. It cannot go free.
I like the way you are thinking. You are thinking very highly of your country, and you are wishing for the best. You know, my first report as a reporter in Punch in 1988 was a woman that was bathing in his room around the Ujuri, around the Agege, before you get to before you go towards Oniwaya and all this thing. You know, yes, before you get there. And the woman was shot. It was a traffic problem somewhere, and the bullet went through different areas to go and meet her where she was bathing. She just gave birth to her
pellets
before, and she was killed. That was in 1988. And there was an opera, there was a review, there was this 1980 is how many years? Over 40, almost 40 years. It is still this, they are still killing people.
Wow. 2 days on freeze.
Yeah.
It's a network thing.
But you know, even in I remember then in the other flat in my father's house, then that was 97 or so, 96, 97.
Okay.
The tenant then, Mr. Tanimola, came to the sitting room panicking and said I should come and look at something. The next thing we saw was that it was a pellet from a bullet, from a cartridge. A pellet from it pierced through the roof, came down into the sitting room. Yeah. You know, he attends I think Winners or something like that one. He took that picture, you know, and he kept it inside that anointing oil. That if he was standing under that roof, that thing would have, and he would have died. They would have said he slumped. Nobody would have known what happened.
Absolutely.
And it came from the road, actually, because the house is about 3-4 houses away from a road, and police were there. That means they shot into the air, and that it came down into someone's roof. And I mean, it's always happening. It's always happening.
Okay. The end of the matter is, police, stop killing our people, and the police command stop issuing nonsensical press releases.
Press releases.
Did you see the last statement of the press release? I don't know if I'm accurate. The last sentence was, and avoid traffic offenses. Some statements.
Some insensitive statements.
It lacks empathy. It lacks empathy. You don't even put that kind of case forward at all.
You should know that we don't have any emotional. Most of these people don't have any emotional intelligence.
At all.
Okay. Let's move on to number. Let's go to 6. Akpabio again.
Akpabio. Lawmakers not elected to fight executives. Senate President Godswill Akpabio says lawmakers were not sent to Abuja to fight the executives, but to collaborate for Nigeria's progress. In a documentary marking President Tinubu's 2 years in office, Akpabio highlighted a bipartisan spirit and shared vision between both arms of government. He dismissed claims of a rubber stamp legislature, pointing to rejected presidential nominees and amended proposals. He also revealed plans for laws to promote local production, especially in the auto sector, and reduce over-reliance on imports. Akpabio insists the assembly is focused on pro-people laws like the Student Loan Act and Minimum Wage Bill to reduce hardship and grow the economy.
Gentlemen, is Akpabio speaking from his nostrils or from his mouth?
Well, if you ask me, Senate President Akpabio is not overseeing a viral assembly. We've noticed a lot of things with the National Assembly. Case in point, the Rivers State Declaration, state of emergency. The president went ahead of the assembly, declared, chose someone to take over, now backed up and went to the National Assembly and asked them to ratify. Now, any National Assembly in its right mind will feel insulted by that, because that's not what the law says, you know? We have a challenge in our body and in the polity in Nigeria today. You have a legislature that is supposed to play the role of to the executive, and they're not playing that role. And you know what that means is the executive can stand up, make any law, pass any bill, and the legislators will just, you know, accept it and pass it.
Rubber stamp it, yeah. Rubber stamp it.
General question that's on the minds of many Nigerians is, are these people in the National Assembly really representing us? That's the question.
That's a good question.
Although, Alex, true what you have said, but a little bit of balance. Taking it from his word that they are not elected to really fight, but to collaborate and make the country better. Taking it like that is true. But, you know, some of these things that is happening now is high-wired politics. And sometimes if it's good that we are here talking about it. When you get here, like I will always tell people, what happens? Sometimes the reality is a little bit different. But all in all, I think we should not just throw out the baby with the bathwater. If they have good plans for us, that's a big if.
That's it. That's the problem.
Let them quickly unfold it and end this hunger and degradation in the country. If not, they should just honorably just go back to where they are coming from. I understand, yeah, honorably, because we are sitting, like I will always tell people, on a keg of gunpowder, and if it ignites, they themselves will not like themselves, because
somebody said they are very comfortable. They are very, very comfortable where they are. Everything at their beck and call.
Yeah.
And so when they get there, that's the first thing they consolidate.
Everything being paid for. Everything being paid for. Yes. Like I told someone.
Akin, that keg is very, very old and broken.
Yes.
In fact, there's no keg anymore. There's no keg anymore.
Sir, you remember answers. It began like a guy's. You remember
you made a point, but that keg is broken.
That's small boil. That keg is already broken.
It's not there anymore.
Question the leadership of Akpabio. I'm sorry to say this, but my question is leadership. You know, look at the issues he's putting forth. The student loan thing. You've heard the news about the corruption in there. So, I mean, people are now asking, the people who got the loan, are all of them really justifiable? Is this a very good program for our people? In 2 years of legislatorship, are those the best bills that you can say you have passed for the people of Nigeria?
I want to know this statement that Mr. Akpabio has said now. What's supposed to be the impact of it? Is it supposed to calm something, or something happening that was supposed to calm us?
It's a counter.
I don't think
it's a counter.
No, they call them rubber stamp legislature. That's what he's trying to counter.
He's fighting against that. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We're running out of time. We're running down time, and I want to also listen to this senator. That's one of his Akpabio's people. Listen to him. This your next story.
Okay. Senator wants old buildings near Abuja Airport relocated. Senator Oyekachi Nwebonyi has called for the relocation or redevelopment of old buildings near Abuja International Airport, claiming they present a poor image of Nigeria to arriving visitors. Speaking during Senate plenary, he urged the FCT minister to include the area in future infrastructure budgets. But Senate President Akpabio pushed back, saying communities shouldn't be uprooted just for aesthetics, joking that travelers to his state mostly see rivers and creeks. The Senate ultimately voted down the proposal.
Okay. That was it. That was the same man that was shouting down Ojekunle and others during the plenary. During the committee meeting.
Okay. Is it the same, sir? Is it the same?
It's the same person. Yes.
It's the same.
Wow.
It's the same.
You know
how you got into Senate?
Have you seen the video? Have you seen the video, sir?
Of which one?
I think
of that. Yeah, of that plenary session.
Yes, I saw it. I saw it.
It was a very funny thing. They were trying to. Akpabio was actually trying to save the man from disgrace and embarrassment, and the guy was kept on. I mean, they knew it was dead on arrival.
Oh, this airport thing. This
Akpabio was trying to.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, on the airport.
I didn't see this.
No. Akpabio was actually trying to,
the man, I don't know where he got his sense.
That guy was just. He was just putting nonsense. I was ashamed as a Nigerian that this is a senator.
The more you watch them, the more ashamed you will feel. You wonder what they're debating in those places. Please, let me just ask one question. Is there one bill that they passed in the past 2 years that has fundamentally changed the lives of Nigerians? Only one. Can we mention one?
The tax bill. The tax bill. The tax bill.
I'm sure that's a big one.
Local government autonomy. Local government autonomy.
Is it okay?
But that one does it make sense in a federal structure for another arm being autonomous? Anyway, that's a debate for another day.
But you know, you mentioned something about low hanging fruit. So maybe to him, this was a low hanging fruit.
Let's leave Akpabio and his coterie.
Akpabio and his cohorts.
Party bulls. They are not serious man beings at all. Let's move. I want us to be able to squeeze one or two more stories. Let's see the Akwa Ibom story and then the Natasha story.
Okay. Akwa Ibom governor to cabinet. Defect with me or resign. In a dramatic move, Governor Owen of Akwa Ibom State has told his commissioners and political appointees to either
can we go home, please?
the All Progressive Congress or resign. Speaking at a state executive council meeting, Eno says loyalty to him is non-negotiable, insisting no one can remain in cabinet while playing anti-party. He cited internal dysfunction in the PDP as the reason for his defection, warning that electoral risks due to party mismanagement at the national level could derail future victories.
Okay, it's okay. My first thought when I read this went to Michael F. Young. I said, Michael is not a party person, though. So what is he going to do now? Why would all our friends appointees of the governor? What would they now do now? Suddenly they have to be party people.
No, but Uncle Fag, the man he has from the Rivers issue, he has learnt a lesson. And that is that it's fundamental politics now. You don't leave a disloyal person on your cabinet. He was not talking about elected officials. He was talking about those he appointed. His appointees. So they hold their loyalty actually to him.
Yeah, they serve that pleasure.
But my question is, must that be made public? Couldn't he have sat down with them office situation? Or call a meeting? Must it be made public?
No, someone actually
somebody said it.
Okay.
Mr. T, I want to answer your question. A week ago, he was at a public function, and suddenly the function closed, and he was left alone. All his commissioners disappeared, and was like, So since that day, he knows that these people will publicly disgrace him. So the guy was alone. He said, next time I'm in public and you leave me alone, I will sack you.
The more I hear about I don't know.
Those are funny people. Which governor?
Very funny. That's the word. Very funny people. Very funny. Very funny people.
Which governor said they should arrest men with dreadlocks on the road 1 week?
Yes. This governor from the North Central.
Yes, he said so. Oh my. See, if you want to laugh, just read Nigerian politics and Nigerian government. You just be rolling on the floor.
It's more comical than inspiring. It's
very, very comical. Okay, our last story is the last item.
Oh my God.
Nigerian government sues senator over assassination allegation. The Nigerian government has filed defamation charges against Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan after she accused Senate President Godswill Akpabio and the former governor Yahaya Bello of plotting to kill her. The Attorney General referenced a televised interview where Akpoti claimed there were discussions to eliminate her. Both men denied the allegations. Akpoti, one of just 4 female senators, was earlier suspended from the Senate for alleging Akpabio sexually assaulted her. She claims the suspension was retaliatory. Sexually harassed her. She claims the suspension was retaliatory and says the Senate operates like a cult. The case has reignited national debates on gender, power, and political accountability.
From accuser and complainant to a defendant. And the people accused are now witnesses. They are witnesses of Nigerian government. This is what Bella called government arrangements.
Yes, government magic.
But
army arrangement. Oh
my. You know this Yoruba adage that says that Entoba Fori Efagmo Onijembe.
He would not be there.
That is actually what is happening now. If you allow some people to use you, they will use you and dump you and leave you alone to anything that will happen to you.
Well,
because I was saying it before that this lady has beaten more than she can chew, because this is Nigeria, and it's happening to her now. And for me, wow.
You think somebody's backing? You think it's based on somebody?
Is it fair?
Yeah.
Is it a fair process? No. Is it a fair process?
See, you're asking if it's fair. This is what they call the kitchen sink. You know, you are
very
in a
good.
fight. You throw
very
everything.
good.
This is the kitchen sink. You see, I'm not saying Natasha is. I'm not saying she's innocent, but they've tried everything to keep her in check, and nothing seems to be working. So I think this is one of the things they're trying to use.
I don't know.
I don't believe this will work. I don't believe this will work also.
It won't work.
I know that you are straightforward or you are righteous does not guarantee that you'll be safe. But I know there's a constellation of ideas that is against wicked people in this country. They will see when, in spite of all their powers and scheme, they will see when, sooner or later, they will see.
I want to say
I believe that belief is not hung on any serious, any serious.
How can Yahaya Bello be going to court? I mean,
imagine.
Someone
did you see the joke? Did you see the joke during the week? Yahaya Bello said, I'm not interested in presidential election in 2027. I laughed. I said, how is this about even quoting this man? You are quoting him.
No, it's our brand. It's our unique brand of politics. That is why someone like Yahaya Bello can even step into governance. It's our unique. We are very peculiar people. We are very peculiar people.
I don't know all the facts of everything, but I do wish her more success than I wish the Nigerian government in this thing.
Well, gentlemen, Natasha has entered Akpoti.
Oh my God.
Akpoti of governments. And God, in his own mercy, will judge every one of them. Will come out. So, this is where it's time to go. I urge you to say your buys. Let me start with Esi and Tamilo in the studio. Esife, what's your wrap up?
Goodbye to everybody. And see from you all next week. Enjoy your coming week.
Thank you, Esife.
I just want to say that if you're a Nigerian and you're alive, just know that you're 1% of the 1% and you deserve happiness in life. Just try and be happy. That's all.
Thank you. Akinda, over to you.
My people, like they will say, just enjoy yourself, be yourself. Problem no they finish. Oh,
don't kill yourself. Okay, Alex.
Yeah, stay positive. Don't let what's going on around you get in you, and we'll see you next week by the grace of God.
Amen.
So don't be confused by the Akpotis and the Akpabios and the Yahaya and all the other and Emefiele, for instance. Anyway, Mr. T, final statement today.
I think my next focus would become a senator in this country. It's very convincing and very, you are very comfortable. And when you're comfortable, you say anything. You do anything. So I want to say anything and do anything. Good night, everybody. Have a pleasant weekend.
As we say here, be genuinely nice to people around you every day and do good. Don't fret because of what you see around you, what Nigerians are throwing at you, what Nigeria is throwing at you. Don't be afraid of flying bullets and all sorts. Just try and do good and be right. Be on the right side. Don't break the law so that the law will not break into you. Have a wonderful weekend. See you next week.
Right.
Mr. T, that's
Thank you. Thank you.
Wait, I have to speak to Mr. T. Okay.
What did you say? Okay.
Mr. T, that Senate thing, it actually makes sense because you have entertainment all your life. You have